Hello children, let's begin our maths class. Today we are going to continue our first lesson, that is set language. In the previous class we have seen what do you mean by a set. What was set, children? Set is a collection of well defined objects. So we have studied the definition for set and we have written this, children, and also we have seen some examples for set. If I give you an example, the collection of all teachers in a school. The collection of all teachers in a school. What about the statement? The statement is a set. I say the given statement is well defined, therefore it is a set. This is just for your recap purpose. Already we have done about the set and we have taken some examples in our previous class. So just a small recap so that we can just continue with our next exercise. So what is a set, children? Set is a collection of well-defined objects. Now what was the example we have taken here? The collection of all teachers in a school. Do you agree with the statement? Yes, that is, I can get the information about teachers in a school. So your statement and my statement will be same. So we say the given statement is well defined. Therefore it is a set. Similarly, if I write the statement as the collection of all good teachers. If I write the collection of all good teachers in a school. What will be the answer, children? Yes, the statement is not well defined. The statement is not well defined, therefore it is not a set. A good teacher. So if you have to say about good teacher, everyone's opinion changes. I may feel a different opinion and you may have a different opinion. So what we can say, the statement is not well defined. And you have read that it is not a set. So you have already done one sum from exercise 1.1, children. So you have got an idea how to identify whether a given statement is a set or not a set. So remember this in your mind. If the statement is true for everyone, if I and if you, if everyone says the same statement, you have to say that it is a set. And if your statement and my statement is different, we have to say that it is not a set. Okay, and also we have seen the different forms. Let's have a small revise of the different forms. So what we have seen, we have descriptive form, then you have set builder form, and also we have one more. What is that form? Yes, roster form. I hope you remember these three forms. What is the first form, children? Descriptive form. What is the second form? Set builder form. What is the third type? It's a roster form. So what is the meaning of descriptive form? If you write the set in words, you are describing in words. Like the collection of all books in a library, the collection of all rivers in India, the collection of all natural numbers, the collection of all whole numbers. Set builder form, you have to mention the rule. Do you remember that? 2 dots, or you can just put a line. This is called as such that. So you have to rule. So this, when you use a rule, you call it as set builder form or rule form. Roster form. What is a roster form? When you write all the members like A, E, I, O, U. When you write all the members, you call it as roster form. the number, that is whatever values are present in it, they are called the members. So A is called the member, or you can call it as a element. So keep this in your mind. So you have three different forms. Descriptive is describing in words. Set builder is using a rule, that is we are using such that, or a line over there. And roster form is listing out all the elements. You are writing all the elements. So we call as roster form. So this was the thing that we have done in our exercise 1.1. So today we are going to see another topic under sets. That is, we are going to see the different types of set. So I want you to take your classwork. We will be going on writing one set, and I will be explaining to you what is the meaning of that set. Okay children? So take your classwork. I hope you are ready with your classworks and textbooks and pencil and scale. So you know that after one particular definition or after one particular sum, you have to draw a line. Suppose you complete your sum over here, you have to draw a line so that it shows that you have completed one sum. Similarly, if you finish one definition, you can just draw a line so that we come to know that you have completed one definition. So have a habit of drawing a line, and also I have told you to draw a margin and a rough column. Every time, whenever you use a new page, in every page there should be a margin and a rough column. I hope you are clear with the presentation. Okay. Shall we start with the classwork, children? Let's do it. So write down today's date. Give the heading, points to remember. Give the heading, points to remember. Under points to remember, you have to give the heading as types of sets. Types, I'll just write a little bigger for you. You may be, I hope it will be clear to you. Okay. Types of sets. Give the heading, types of sets. Under that, we are going to come to the first point. Have you started the classwork, children? You have to write the definitions along with me. So take it down. Okay, so write on the first point, empty set or null set. The first set is empty set or null set. Let's write the definition for it. A set consisting of no element. A set consisting of no element is called empty set. Okay? So this is a classwork. What you are going to write on first? Type of set as empty set. What is a empty set? What is the definition for empty set? A set consisting of no element is called a empty set, or we may call it as null set, or we may call it as void set or void set. So totally we have three names for a empty set. So how we can call? If a set is not having any element, you can call it as empty set, you can call it as null set, or you can call it as void set. V-O-I-D. V-O-I-D. Void set. So just keep the three different names for a set having no element. Okay. So after this, you are going to write down the symbol used for empty set. Write down, it is denoted by phi or empty bracket. This is phi, P-H-I, phi. That means it's empty. Okay, so what is the sign called? How to write the sign? Put a small circle and you have to draw a line inside it. 5. It is denoted by 5 or empty. This is a empty bracket. Nothing is there inside the bracket. So empty bracket. Take on the point, children. Have you taken down the definition? Write down the definition. A set consisting of no element is called empty set or null set or void set. It is denoted by 5. Not 5, it's 5. P-H-I, 5. For 5 or a empty bracket. Okay. So just put your pens down and understand the definition, and later on I'll give you some examples for empty set. So put your pens down and listen to me, children. Let's see the explanation for empty set. Okay. Let me take an example. Okay. Suppose this is just for your explanation part. No need to take down. Just put your pens down. So whenever I explain to you, put your pens down and understand. Okay, now we are going to take an example over here, and let me check whether it's an empty or non-empty. If I take a set, the set of collection, of all natural numbers, the set of collection of all natural numbers less than 1. Okay. So what is the example I have given you? The set of collection of all natural numbers. All the natural numbers less than 1. Do you have a natural number less than 1, children? Can we get a natural number less than 1? No. We have studied that natural number starts from 1. So we don't get a set of natural numbers which is less than 1. So how will be the set? Suppose I have taken here A. So I have to write A is equal to, I don't get any number. That is, I don't have a natural number less than 1. Because the smallest natural number itself is 1. You getting the point? So what you have to write down here? A is equal to empty. Or you can just write here 5. This shows that the set A is a empty set. Okay. One more example I'll give you. Suppose B is equal to the set of all odd numbers divisible by 2. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find a set of odd numbers which is divisible by 2. Okay, you know the odd numbers. What are the odd numbers? It's 1. That is, the last digit should be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So just check whether, if suppose I consider one odd number, I take a number as 23. Is 23 an odd number? Yes. Why is it an odd number? Because you have the last digit as 3. What is the last digit here? 3. Yes. So if you have the last digit as 3, you say that it is an odd number. Okay, can you divide this by 2? It is not divisible by 2 because you will get a remainder. See, you have a number here 3. So 2 and 25, divide 23 by 2. 2 ones are 2. 0, 3, 2 ones are 2 and 1. So you have a remainder 1 left. So we say that the numbers, that is the odd numbers, are not divisible by 2, not completely divisible by 2. Divisible by 2 means you have to get the remainder as 0 when you divide the particular number by 2. But if I divide an odd number by 2, I don't get the remainder as 0. I hope you are clear with the statements, children. Yes. So what is the statement given? The set of all odd numbers divisible by 2. Can we find the odd number which is divisible by 2? No, because the odd numbers end with 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And we know that if the number has 2, 4, 6, 8, 0 in the last, that is in the ones place, it is divisible by 2. This is all the things that you have learned in your lower classes. You have studied the test of divisibility. Yes? What is the test of divisibility? The numbers in the end, that is the last number, should be 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. But the odd numbers end with 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So we say we don't have an odd number which is divisible by 2. So B is equal to empty, or you can write 5. I hope you are clear with the empty set. What is the meaning of empty set? There is no element, there is no member here. So such a element or such a set is called a empty set. Clear, children? Okay, I hope you have taken on the first definition. Now write down the example for it. Let's write down some examples for empty set. Right. The set of example, the set of all odd numbers divisible by 2. When one more, what we saw? The set of all natural numbers, set of all natural numbers less than 1. So these are the two examples. So these two examples, when you take these two examples, you get a empty set. That is, they are not having any member. We don't have any member. So let's read it. What is the empty set? A set consisting of no element is called empty set or null set or void set. It is denoted by phi. This is read as PHI, phi, or a empty bracket. So we have given here two examples. Take down the examples, children. Okay, now let's go for the second definition. The second one is singleton set. From the name itself, it will be clear to you. Singleton. What do you mean by singleton? Yes, good. Singleton means a set will have how many elements? One element. Single element. So it's called a singleton set. Empty means no member. Singleton means one member. Okay, so write the definition for it. A set which has only one element. A set which has only one element is called a singleton set. Write down. A set which has only one element is called a singleton set. So this, I hope the definition is clear to you. So how many, if you have only one element present, you have to call it as a singleton set. Very good. Okay. So let's write down some examples over here. Take down the examples along with me, children. The set of the smallest even prime number. The set of all smallest even prime number. Okay. The set of all smallest even prime number. The set of all smallest even prime number. What is the smallest even prime number? You know that prime number starts from, I have given you a list of prime numbers in your exercise 1.1 first question is. So we have a list of prime numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17 and so on, yes. So here the only prime number, the only even prime number. What is the only even prime number here? It's 2. you can see that all the other numbers are odd numbers. Others all are odd. You know the meaning of odd number. Odd number means the last digit is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Here the only even number is 2. So what is the set over here? So you get the answer as A is equal to 2. See? So what is the smallest even prime number? The smallest even prime number is 2. So how many members are there? Only one member. If you have only one member, you have to call it as a singleton set. Write down the example, children. Okay. Let's write down one more example. I'll just give you a rule form over here. B is equal to X such that minus 5 X minus 3 X belonging to Z. Okay. So we have a set B such that is which is equal to X such that. See, I have given here dots. This means it is which form? It is a set builder form. And what about the first form? We have written in words. So this is a descriptive form. Whenever you use a word to write the set, you have to say as a descriptive form. Now what I have done here? I have made here 2 dots. That is, I have given a rule over there. How to read these 2 dots? Such that. See? Such that. Okay? So this is which type? Which form this is? Set builder form. What is the condition given to you? X such that minus 5 less than X less than minus 3 X belonging to Z. What was Z, children? Z is a integer. Z is a integer. Yes. And you have done that integers. Integers means we have to put a number line and we have to check the answers. Listen over here. You stop your writing work, children. I hope the first example is clear to you. So you are clear. Remember always only one even prime number is there, and that is 2. We have the smallest even number, or the smallest even number is 2, and also the smallest even prime number is 2. Okay, now let's find out the value for this B set, children. See here, we have an integer X belonging to Z means you are going to take the value of X from the set of integers, that is Z. Okay, so now what are you going to do? I'm going to draw a number line. This is just for your reference. You are not going to do this in the classwork. Just understand how are we going to get the answer there. So I have origin here 0. Write all the positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. Okay, I'll just have place the positive value. This is all positive. This is 0 and this is all negative. So what is the integer? Integer means you have the negative value, you have a 0 value, and also you have a positive value. Okay, so now let's find out the value for X. Now where is X lying? X is lying between minus 5 and minus 3. Minus 5 and minus 3. Where is minus 5? Okay. Where is minus 3? Here. Okay. So what is the number that is lying between minus 5 and minus 3? Yes, it is minus 4. So what is the value for B, children? The value for B is equal to, what is the number lying? Minus 4. Yes. So I got here the number minus 4. Now what is the condition given? I have already told you there is a difference. So you have to see the signs carefully. Remember the signs. Now if you have been given as minus 5 less than or equal to X less than or equal to minus 3. See children, be careful with the signs. There is a difference. You have minus 5 less than X less than minus 3. So less than, that means if you have only less than, you should not take this value. You should not take minus 5 and minus 3. So what is the number present between minus 5 and minus 3? Minus 4. So here what is the value? Minus 4. I hope you are clear. When you have only less than, when you have only less than, you should not take this value minus 5 and minus 3. If you have a sign like this, minus 5 less than or equal to x less than or equal to minus 3, less than or equal to means what? Yes, we should take minus 5. Also, we should take minus 3. And also, what is the number present between minus 5 and minus 3? Yes, minus 4. So, what will be the answer for this? Minus 5, minus 4, minus 3. Clear, children? See, there is a difference. Only less than means do not take that number. Less than or equal to means take that number. So, I have to take minus 5, minus 3 and the number between them. What is between minus 5 and minus 3? Minus 4. I hope you are clear with the notations. Okay, so no need to take down this number line. We'll go with the answer. So you write down B is equal to minus 4. So how many members are here? 1. So this is called a singleton set. Okay, I hope you have taken on the second definition. Take on the definition, children. Let's come for the third one. Write on the third question. Third set, that is third type of set. Finite set. Third one. Finite set. Third. Write down. Finite set. Okay, let's write on the explanation for it. Finite. What do you mean by finite? If I am able to count. Remember, if we are able to count the number of element, we call it as a finite set. Clear, children? Okay. A set with finite number. Finite means I can count. Remember, I can count the member. A set with finite number of elements is called a finite set. Called a finite set. Suppose I give you an example. I'll give you A is equal to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I give you an example as A as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Listen to me. Can we count the numbers? Can we count the numbers, children? How many members are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can count the members. So this is called a finite set. We can say the set of all prime numbers up to 100. Can we count the number of prime numbers up to 100? We know the numbers up to 100. What are the different prime numbers up to 100? Yes, we know the different prime numbers up to 100. So this is a finite set. Finite set means what? We can count the number of element. We can note all the members of element. So this is a finite set. Take down the examples for a finite set. So I have given you 2 examples, okay? This is the first one and this is the second one. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, so it's finite. The set of all prime numbers up to 100. We have listed 25. How many prime numbers are there up to 100? 25 prime numbers are there. So I can count, yes. So that is also a finite set. Let's say the next one. infinite set. Fourth one, give the heading as infinite set. Okay, write down. Next one, infinite set. It's opposite. Finite is the set with finite number. What will be the for infinite? A set which is not finite. A set which is not finite is called infinite set. A set which is not finite is called infinite set. Example, I'll give you the first example. I'll write the set of all multiples of 5. It goes on. Multiples of 5 means what? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55 and so on. So it goes on. 5, 10, 15, dot, 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 3 dot. Enough. Don't go on writing as many dots. 3 dot is enough. So 5, 10, 15. That means it is continued. I cannot count the number. I cannot count the number. If I am not able to count the number, you have to say the set is a infinite. Yes. And when you are able to count, it is a finite set. And when you are not able to count, it is a infinite set. Okay. Let's take one more example. Okay, what example we'll write? Okay, I'll just write the numbers, all the numbers in a number system. Here, if we have like this, A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, dot, dot, dot. Again here, the numbers are continued. I don't know where to stop. It is going to go on. We have infinite numbers. So, we say this A is a infinite set because I cannot count the member. I just cannot say 4 because your dot, dot, dot. Dot, what is the meaning of dot? It is continued. It goes on. Okay. Take down the point, children. Okay, so we will write one more point and we'll continue with the exercise. And later on I'll tell you the different sets. For today we'll learn the 5 definitions. So we just have a small. So 5 means it will be clear. You will be clear with the concepts. So just stay on the next thing. The next one is cardinal number of a set. The fifth one you are going to write down as cardinal number of a set. So give the heading. Number 5, cardinal number of a set. Now, what is the meaning of cardinal number? I'll just explain to you before we write the definition. If you have a set A and you have your 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we have a set A, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, now what are we going to do? We have to find out the number of elements here. So what is n of A? See, number. How to read this? Number of elements in A. How many number? How many elements are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So total how many numbers are there in A? Or how many members are there in A? We have 5 members. So you call it as 5. So what is the cardinal number of A? The cardinal number of A is 5. Because how many elements are there? Totally 5 elements are there. Okay, if I give you one more example. B is equal to 3, 4. Okay. How many members are there for B? 2. So what is the cardinal number of B? It's 2. So you have to write n of B is equal to 2. So this is the way to denote cardinal number. So you have to write n of B is equal to 2. Clear, children? So cardinal number means the number of elements in a set. Let's write down the definition for cardinal number. The number of elements in a set, write down the definition. The number of elements in a set is called the cardinal number of a set. The number of elements in a set is called the cardinal number of the set. The cardinal number of set A is denoted as n of A. For set A, you have to write n of A. If it is set B, write n of B. If it is set C, write n of C. So it depends upon the name of the set. So write down the definition for cardinal number. The number of elements in a set is called the cardinal number of a set. And how is the cardinal number denoted as? The cardinal number is denoted as n of A. I'll give you one example here. A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what will be n of A? Count the numbers. How many numbers are there? Or how many members are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So total we have 6 members. N of A is equal to 6. I hope you are clear with the different definitions. So we have taken down how many definitions today? We have taken down 5 definitions. What is the first definition we studied? Empty set. Second one, singleton set. Yes. Third one, finite set. Yes. The fourth one, infinite set. And the last one, cardinal number of a set. So just I'll be mentioning the homework over here, children. You have to write down this definition 2 times. Write the 5 definitions 2 times along with the examples. Definition with examples. Clear? I don't want only the definition. You have to explain. So how many times are you going to write the definition? 2 times with the examples. E.g. if you don't get what ma'am is writing over there. Okay, so with examples. Okay, now let's start with our exercise. Give the heading exercise 1.2. So do not waste your time. Give the heading exercise 1.2. Write down here. So just you can continue. No need to just take a new page. Continue. Write down the first question. Find the cardinal number of the following sets. Find the cardinal number of the following sets. Okay. So this is the first question. Now you are going to write the first point there. What is the first subpart? Yes. The first subpart is M is equal to P, Q, R, S, T, U. P, Q, R, S, T, U. So have you taken the first subpart? What is the question, children? You have a question. Find the cardinal number of the following set. What is the first subpart taken as? M is equal to P, Q, R, S, T, U. Okay. So now let's find out the cardinal number. Count the number of elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll write n of M is equal to 6. This is the answer. Easy work. See, I got the cardinal. I have to write the name of the set. What is the name of the set? M. So write n of M. Here A was the set. I wrote A. N of A. Here what is the set? M. N of M is equal to 6. Okay, write down. First sum is clear to you? Okay, second sum now. Here from homework. See the homework carefully. Question number 1. The second subpart I'll do. The third subpart, the fourth subpart, the fifth subpart is your homework. You have to complete. Second I'm going to do as classwork. The third subpart, the fourth subpart, and the fifth subpart as homework. Let's take the second subpart. P is equal to x such that, read it carefully, P is equal to x such that x is equal to 3n plus 2, n belonging to W, n belonging to W, and x less than 15. Okay. So this is the condition. What is the statement for P? P is equal to x such that x is equal to 3n plus 2, n belonging to W, and x is less than 15. Okay, now let's work out and let's find out the value for P. Here they have been given with the member. So you know the members of M, yes? Here I don't know the member. Only a rule is given. So what are we going to do? We have to find out the members first. After finding the member, I have to count the member and we have to give the answer. Okay, now see the condition. What are we going to find? We are going to find x. What is given here? X. That means you are going to find x. How are you going to find x? What is the formula for x? 3n plus 2. What is the formula for x? 3n plus 2. N belonging to W. What is the meaning of W? Whole. What do you mean by whole number? The number starts from 0. So you are going to take the value for n from 0. And x is less than 15. So we want a number less than 15. So read the condition. Be careful, children. We are having four information here. What are we going to do? We are going to find x. What is the formula for x? X is equal to 3n plus 2. And what about n? From where are you going to take the value for n? N is a whole number. That means you are going to take the value for n from 0. Okay. And also the value for x is less than 15. It is less than 15. Shall we start with the work, children? Okay, see. N belonging to W. So I'll start. If n is equal to 0, x is equal to 3n plus 2. Yeah, 3n plus 2. So 3, 0 plus 2. 3 into 0. 3 into 0 is what? 0. Anything multiplied by 0? 0 plus 2. This is equal to 2. Yes, I got the first value. What is the value? If n is equal to 0, I get the value for x as 2. 3 into 0, 0. 0 plus 2, 2. Okay. Now you are going to try. I'll just give you some time. You are going to try and you have to keep your answers ready. Okay, children? Okay. Will you try the sum? Okay. Try it. So if n is equal to 1. Find the value for x. 3. In place of n, you have to put 1. Here I took 0, so 0. So 3, 1 plus 2. Find out. You have 2 steps, yes? Then if n is equal to 2, find out the value for x. 1, 2, 3. If n is equal to 3, find the value. Do the steps, follow the steps. I hope you have started with the work, children. Just do it. Okay. Shall we check the answer? Yes, I hope all are doing it fast. Very good. Okay, let's do it. So 3 into 1. What is 3 into 1? 3. plus 2. What's our answer? 5. Good. N is equal to 2. What I'll get here? 3. In place of 1 or in place of n, what I should write? 2. Yeah, 3, 2 plus 2. 3 2s are 6. This means you have to multiply. Okay, children? 3 1 means multiply. 3 into 1. Okay? So 3 into 2 is what? 6 plus 2. 6 plus 2? 8. Okay, done. N is equal to 3. 3. In place of n, you put 3 plus 2. 3 3s are 9. 9 plus 2? 11. Okay. So now we need a value less than 15. Yes? So just we'll continue over here. If n is equal to 4, continue for n is equal to 4. Let's check for n is equal to 4. And let's check for the value. So we have to go for the value. Yes. I want a number less than 15. So I have a number less than 15. So till here it is okay. Till here it is okay. Let me check for one more value. If n is equal to 4, x is equal to 3 into 4 plus 2. So 12 plus 2, that's 14. Yes. Okay, this is still less than 15. Yeah. 14 is less than 15. Agreed. I'll take one more value. If n is equal to 5. Okay. If n is equal to 5, x is equal to 3 into 5 plus 2. 15 plus 2 is equal to 17. Can I take a number 17? No. Why? Because this number is greater than 15. Yes, we want a number less than 15. So I can take a number 5, or starting from 0. I can take a number 2. I can take a number 5. We can take a number 8. We can take a number 11. And we can take a number 14. But this is not allowed because 17 is greater than 15. Clear, children? So after this, you are going to write down the step. So what is the value for P? Okay, what is the value for P? We have to write the value for x, children. Yes? What is the x value I have got? 2. Next, 5. Next, 8. Next, 11. Next, 14. Can I write 17? No need. Do not write 17. So how many members are there? Total number of members. Count the number of members. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, good. So n of P is equal to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the answer. N of P is equal to 5. I am not taking the value for x as 17 because this is greater than what? 15. We have a condition. Okay, children? I hope you are clear with the sums. The first sum was the easy sum. We directly counted the members and we have listed the answer. Now for the second sum, you have to see the rule, you have to apply and you have to get the answer. Similarly, I would like to try, you to try out the third, fourth and the fifth. So just complete the sum. And what's the homework for today? We have done 2, there is 5 definitions, yes? So you have to write that 5 definitions. What is the homework, children? Write the 5 definitions. Where we have written the definition? Under points to remember, yes? 5, a singleton, empty, finite, infinite, cardinal number. With the examples, I have given some examples below it, yes? So you can write the same example or you can change the example. It is your choice. You can have a different example. You can, you have to write this 5 definitions 2 times. Definitions are important. You may feel why ma'am is giving us the definition. For your exams, there will be a definition for 2 marks. I may ask definition for your exam. So you have to study the definition with the examples. And also definition can be asked for fill-ups. So dash, a set having no element is called a dash set. Yes, what is the answer? A set having no element, empty set. A set having one element is called dash singleton set. A set which is not finite is called dash, infinite set. Clear, children? So you may have the definitions for definition as well as it may be asked for fill-ups. So you should be thorough with the definitions. Clear, children? Okay, so we are just going very slow. Complete all the works. If you have any doubts, you can send your feedbacks. Okay, so we will continue in the next class.